We love you, Mudryk. We do. We love you, Mudryk. Josh does. Mykhailo Mudryk.
Mate, I've been so excited to get in this room with you.
And can I take this moment? I'm going to steal your thunder a little bit here. I've always backed him. I have stood by this boy from day one. You know, when people are saying, "Oh, you know, is he any good or is he just quick?" I said, "Don't talk shit. This boy is electric."
You've never said alone?
No.
So if I go back and I try and find the other videos, there won't be anything about alone.
I said he's the lone star in our team of underperformers this season.
And you haven't questioned his Chelsea quality. You haven't said he's a bit of a pace merchant. You haven't said anything about that.
He is a pace merchant. Nothing wrong.
He's a bloody good pace merchant.
He's a bloody good
best
pace merchant. Yeah. No, he done well last night. Listen, people, you know what time it is. We're about to speak about last night's game, and we're about to ask some serious questions of Pochettino's selection here. So let's get into it. I was obviously watching the game at home, very, very happy with the way it unfolded. But you were in the stands at Stamford Bridge last night. Before we actually get into the game, because I'm very, very interested here, right? There was a massive low after the Brentford game, wasn't there? Am I right to say that? I think definitely. There was. And I think that after that Brentford game, you were a little bit more sensible than me, probably a bit less emotional than me. Whereas for me, I was very much of like, fuck this, I'm done with these lot. I did come around, and I did, to be fair, say, when we were together yesterday, I did say that we'd probably end up getting a performance in tonight's game because it's just the way it usually works with an inconsistent team like Chelsea. Another team that have been inconsistent massively is Newcastle. How was it in the ground? What was the atmosphere like in the ground before we absolutely pumped Newcastle?
I have to say, we're consistently inconsistent, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to say, you and I were chatting before the game, and we said, what will happen? We'll have a really shit performance against Brentford, and then we'll come back and we'll absolutely do Newcastle. That's just the way it goes, doesn't it? So yeah, mate, going into the ground,
that worries me about the next game coming up. I'll tell you that.
Fucking shit. Do you know what though? Like, I'm doing a bit of a Frank Lampard now, but I could definitely see us going out the FA Cup.
Really?
Could you not see it?
I can see it with this Chelsea side. I can see it happening. But no, we should be all right. We should be all right. We took away their main man already.
Oh yeah, Cassidy. What a player. What a player. We could have had Vardy about 3 years ago. You know, maybe should have done that.
Yeah, he's still tearing it up in the Championship, to be fair. What, 13 goals this season, 14 goals? That's not too bad.
Still like him. Anyway, we're going to do another video about that. We're talking about the Chelsea atmosphere, mate. What was it like? I've heard a few podcasters talking earlier on today saying that was one of the best atmospheres at Stamford Bridge this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was actually really good. And obviously, you've got to have sometimes a bit of a dance partner in stadiums. And the Geordies,
they fucking love it, don't they?
They loved it. I saw about 8 or 9 men with their tops off on the way in, and that was before I got to the game.
Yeah.
And then I saw a few like Hawaiian.
We don't want to know about your search history. We want to know what happened at the game.
And then I saw some Hawaiian shirts, and I knew it was going to be a good atmosphere. The Geordie boys came in there; they brought it straight away.
Yeah.
The usual chants about you got no atmosphere, a lot of shushing, etc. Right? We've been through it as Chelsea fans. It's nothing new. And then do you know what? That goal goes in, and it changes. And this is the thing. I think Pochettino has spoken about this before, and we've spoken about it a few times. We're going, do we wait for the team to bring the atmosphere? Because they've shown it on the pitch and they deserve the atmosphere? Or should the fans bring it from the very get-go? And I'm always of the opinion the fans should bring it and then the players will respond. But I have to say, sometimes you do need like a little catalyst.
Yeah.
There were even moments in that Anfield game, Liverpool game, where they're at Anfield, where there were little quiet moments because City were sort of coming and putting pressure on them. But then the Anfield crowd comes through and that propels them onwards. So, you hope that Chelsea's going to do that.
It's the home games that can be a little bit more hit and miss. One thing I would say is Chelsea are never playing well when the crowd aren't responding. But like you say, sometimes the crowd need to go before. But that's the home support. In terms of away support, we're unrivaled. Like, we were always good travelling. It's just the support at home sometimes. And obviously, when you're not playing well, the matches that spring to mind for me was like Nottingham Forest earlier on in the season. I remember like we started lively, but then it gets to 20 minutes and nothing's really happening. We're not creating that much, and it can die down a little bit. So it's good to know. It's good to know that there was a good atmosphere in there last night. What did you make of the game?
I thought it was chaotic. I thought I was a bit gutted when we conceded that second goal because it meant that the last 10 minutes were a little bit jittery. A little bit squeaky bum time. And I felt that in the stadium.
I don't know if you didn't watch my video last night, did you?
I saw bits of it, absolutely. I'll tune in straight away.
Did you see what I said? Like when we was with Brian yesterday, he said, didn't it? He went, yeah, like we got Jacob Murphy back, so that's good. And I sort of went, are you being serious? And I thought like he was having a bit of banter.
Yeah.
When he said it,
goal.
it's my own fault. Clearly, I don't watch Jacob Murphy enough.
Yeah.
I know he had a good spell last season, but I haven't really watched him much this season.
Brian's literally said he's a championship player, so you know, that tells you everything you need to know. Like he's happy for him to be back.
It was a great goal, though.
Mate, a quality goal. Like I'd say, probably one of the better goals that we've seen at Stamford Bridge until Mykhailo Mudryk. Slaps that beautiful Hazard-esque one.
Every goal. Oh, mate. He was doing a Hazard v West Ham impression, wasn't he? We'll get on to him. We'll get on to him. Every goal was pretty good, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. I mean, yeah, even the Newcastle goals are good. But, you know, the touch from Jackson, and in the stadium, we obviously couldn't necessarily see that straight away. Like, it was a very faint, deft touch. But let's just go from that. Cole Palmer, unbelievable shot. What a player he's proven to be. And we'll talk about Cole Palmer in more detail because I love him. But Jackson just does that little touch. And again, another player that we need to talk about, mate. He's actually doing all right, Jackson. Into double figures now for the season. Looking okay.
Jackson's doing very well.
Yeah.
I think he'll finish the end of the season. What's he on in goals at the minute in the Premier League?
I think it's 10, isn't it?
10, right. So I think Jackson will finish the season with a very, very respectable... I think he'll hit over 20 goals and assists. I think he's pretty already on about 15 or something. He is on 15. He's on 15. 15 goals and assists. Will he get 5 goals and assists in the end of the season now? Yeah, 100%. We've got 10 matches. He'll get that. He'll get that. So I'm looking at... Because he's going to start every single match. There's no Broha here anymore. And he's quite clearly the option there. He'll get that. So he's going to finish on 20 goals and assists. Not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it will end up... I hate this comparison. We've got to stop doing it. But I'm just saying... If we're making a little bit of a comparison, it will end with him finishing this season on probably better goals and assist numbers than Drogba's first season at Chelsea.
Joey, I'm really glad you mentioned that because I've got the stats about Didier Drogba's first season.
Pull up the receipts.
I'm going to look at them now. So, Didier Drogba, first season at Chelsea, he played 26 games.
Yep.
How many goals do you think he scored?
In 26 games, I think he scored 11.
He scored 10.
10. How
many assists do you think he had?
Oh, not many. Not many. Back them days, the strikers weren't getting many assists, were they? 3?
5.
5. That's not bad.
Jackson, Premier League.
Hold on, just quickly, for those like me, do the math. 16 goals and assists in what, 24
15.
games? 15 in how many games?
In 26.
Right, okay.
Jackson.
God, good job you do my invoices.
I'm bloody good at it as well. 24 appearances, Jackson, so far in the Premier League.
Yeah.
9 goals, 3 assists. It's
Need
not that far off.
Need we say any more?
It's not that far off at all. And to think that Didier was one of our best strikers of all time. Jackson's going to do it, mate. I'm just going to say it now. Jackson is going to be as good as Drogba. I've said it before. Fuck it. Clip that up.
Clip that in your pipe and smoke it. Mate, the touch, like this is the thing, right? You know the disallowed Jackson goal?
Yeah.
Right. This is why I always say he's an fuck's sake, an enigma. Yeah? I can never say enigma. I can never say anomaly. Said it there.
You've been practicing.
Yeah, I've come a long way. This is why, isn't it? Because you can do the classy little things like that. Like, you know, when all's said and done with Jackson's career, his highlight reel will be ridiculous. Unreal. He will score some screamers. He'll be involved in some lovely passages of play. And because of the fact I'm not as confident in him, he actually scored that goal that was disallowed. But that's the sort of chance and opportunity I'm a little bit less confident in him with.
Yeah.
Once he gets that side of his game, fuck me, we've got a player on our hands, man. And it's almost to a point now where I'm like, we don't go and sign Osimhen. I don't think we go and sign Osimhen and break the bank. I don't know if we can do it. I think if you can get a Šeško like you've mentioned for half the price, or what's a PSV guy?
Well, Gyökeres is the other one that I want you to talk about in terms of sporting.
Yeah,
that would be my other alternative.
Right,
to be honest
and that's less than half the price of Osman, no?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be able to afford Osman.
No,
it literally is that simple.
Don't want him,
and especially if you're thinking like Conor Gallagher will have to go if you want Osman. So it's quite easy.
Gallagher's going to go, mate. I think it breaks my heart to say it. I just think he will. Okay, so Jackson, we know he's quality.
Jackson, I have to say though, mate, he's underperforming his XG by 4, so that means he should have potentially 4 more goals. It's just converting the chances, and he can absolutely do that. So yeah, mate, very exciting.
And it's not just that; it's the chances he creates. Like I've got the numbers here: big chances created by Chelsea players this season. No prizes for guessing who's top.
Jackson, Mudryk.
No. No, you're going to kick yourself now.
Who? Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer, obviously.
Yeah, but I just wanted to sort of get that in because, Mudryk has created a lot of chances.
Second, Jackson.
Yeah.
Gallagher, Gusto, both joint with him on 7. Reece James, 6.
Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez, 5. Raheem Sterling, bottom of that list with 5. So
tells you everything you need to know.
Tells you everything. But we'll get on to Sturbo.
Jackson, by the way, mate, more goals than Højlund, Wilson, Havertz, Ferguson, Kudus, Gabriel Jesus, and many more.
All the big hitters.
Come on.
All the big hitters.
Come on. He's doing all right.
He's doing well. He's doing really well. I'm very, very happy. And I tell you what, we always say absence makes the heart grow fonder. We really missed him in the African Cup of Nations, didn't we?
Definitely.
Okay. So, obviously, the Cole Palmer one, it's a screamer, it's a banger, and Tim Sherwood, by the way, has not got a fucking clue what he's talking about. Did you see that interview?
Prick. If I was Cole Palmer, I would have bit back even more than he did. Like, Cole did it, I think, dealt with it really well.
You know when he goes, you can't say it, but I'll say it. Not you can't say it, you don't want to say it because you're fucking wrong, mate. You ain't got a clue what you're going on about.
Well, I have to say, mate, Tim Sherwood's record of scouting and improving players is exemplary. So we should absolutely listen to
Premier League winner as well.
Yeah.
Blackburn.
Quality.
How are they doing these days? Cole Palmer just absolutely
mate, that finish was ridiculous. That like honestly, you've seen that in the ground when he slots it through the defender's legs. I almost thought that was gonna, when he hit it, I thought it's gonna go wide actually with the way he dragged it across. I just have to say, like, what an inspired performance from him in general.
We've got 10 games of the season to go. Cole Palmer last night broke the record, most ever Premier League goal involvements from a Chelsea player under the age of 21.
Mental. Who did he break? That's what I want to know. Whose record was that he break?
Who would it have been?
I don't know the answer. I'd love to know. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Who was really young? I mean, the first person that comes to my head is Joe Cole, but
I don't think Joe was that young, was he? It wasn't Mason Mount, was it? Mason Mount wasn't that young.
It would have been.
Do you think?
It would have been Mason Mount, yeah.
Was he 21 when he played in that season?
What's he up to now? Let's move on to the main man. Mykhailo Mudryk. Yeah. And I want to speak about Mykhailo Mudryk. Obviously, look, I issued my apology on my channel last night. Everyone took it at face value and we don't need to talk about it again. So, but Mykhailo Mudryk, man, he's doing the business when he comes on off the bench. Even in the game he started, looking good at the moment. And my God, mate, we've spoke to death about the statistic, the 5 games that he scored in, or the 5 of the last games he scored in, every match that has followed, he hasn't got a start in. If he doesn't get a start against Leicester, and we will be dropping a Leicester preview later on in the week, if he doesn't get a start, sackable offence, Pochettino?
Mate, I'm actually not starting him against
Leicester. No, hold on. Sackable. Forget sackable. Criminal offence?
Absolutely.
I'd slap the cuffs on him. I'd slap the cuffs on him.
Life sentence.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, I actually wouldn't start him against Leicester.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I wouldn't start him.
Why?
Deadly serious.
Why?
Just give him a rest. He's a first teamer now.
Yeah, I suppose
you don't play your first team in the FA Cup with Chelsea. No. Give him a rest.
When you're having the season we're having, you're in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, 1 match from Wembley. I think you do play the first team. Funny enough, and to be honest, I doubt we've got a second string with all the injuries. So let's stick a pin in that one. But Mykhailo Mudryk now, man, he needs to be there, and for me, I think it's very fair to say he needs to be there in place of the man that he usually gets brought on for, which is Raheem Sterling. Because as much as we can sing Mykhailo Mudryk's praises here, we've got to talk about Sterling, man. We really do need to talk about Sterling. Listen, Sterling started off the season on fire. He started off the season like he had a point to prove. It looked like Mauricio Pochettino had improved him, took the shackles off him a little bit. And obviously it culminated after a lot of impressive performances early on in the season. The Burnley game, both home and away. Who was it we played at home? Luton at home, Burnley away. There were some real good matches in there, real good performances from Raheem Sterling. It sort of culminated when he absolutely twisted Kyle Walker to death. But since then, man, he's got 1 goal in 12 league games, right? If he was assisting for left, right and centre, that wouldn't even be the most damning stat. But this whole not passing when he's through on goal with a player aside of him, it just screams selfishness to me, and I just find it a massive disrespect for the team. If it happens once, I would take the stance that, look, you're not the one out there, you're not the one playing the game, you don't know what goes through a footballer's mind, and you don't know what happens on the training pitch where he rounds that keeper so often and 100 out of 100 times he puts it away. But when there's 3 examples, there was last night, not long before there was Wolves when he didn't square it to Cole Palmer once again. And not long before that, the Villa match that we were sitting tearing our hair out over, the 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. He did the same fucking thing in that match. And it's actually... it's infuriating. What did you think?
Mate, there's... I was sat there and the vociferousness... There you go. That's a long one for you. Of the feeling that I had towards Sterling. Actually, I had a few people looking around. I was fuming at him because I was shouting down at Mauricio Pochettino.
It was almost pedantic, wasn't it?
Oh God, just stop it.
Yeah.
I was just fuming, mate. I've got to the point now where I'm at breaking point with Sterling because I just don't understand what Mauricio Pochettino sees. And I was discussing this with my old man last night when we were watching the game. I don't know what Mauricio Pochettino is looking at where he goes, yes, Sterling deserves to start week in, week out. When you look at the performance yesterday, he wasn't doing anything defensively, which we know, like, fair enough. Okay, he's meant to be our best player. Let's let him go free in attack. Fair enough. Do that, right? He's not doing the attacking stuff well.
Hold on. Let me just pull back before you go. You just said fair enough. Fair enough is if he's banging goals left. And I'll tell you what, like... way better players with better numbers this season than Sterling track back, Yeah. Look at the man who came off last night, Anthony Gordon. He puts a right shift in and he's well ahead in the pecking order when it comes to getting a call up for England than Sterling is at the minute. So, but maybe you look at it and you think, he's not that good at it. We see last night, 6 duels contested by Sterling. How many did he win?
0.
What
a surprise.
We spoke the other day about surprising sort of pass completion rates. Caicedo one that had a really high pass completion. It was 97% or something like that. Sterling's last night?
Was it 70%?
70%.
Yeah,
I fucking would get more than 70% and I'm shit.
But that's key stat, though, to look at, mate, because that was 7 out of 10 passes. He did 10 passes in the entire game. Enzo is doing like 100 passes a game. Different players, but fuck me, get in the game, Sterling. Do you know what I mean? He's just not even involved in it. And this is why I'm sort of tearing my hair out. It's like, look, if he's there and he's making mistakes and he's doing stuff, fair enough, right? If he doesn't square a ball, I can forgive that if he's involved in the game or he's taking shots on. But he's just not. He's just a passenger, mate. You might as well be playing with 10 men.
You know what people that will want to defend him. I don't even want to say defend him because then it seems like it's a personal thing against him. It's nothing against him. It's his performances. People that will want to defend his performances will straight away point to the Man City game at the Etihad and say, he didn't square it then. He cut it back then. He took a little bit longer with it then and he still managed to score. Brilliant. It's 1 goal. It helped us win 1 point. Yes, it was a good point. Yeah, it was a point that felt like a win, but it was 1 point. And then I show you the 3 examples there of when he could have squared a ball in games, all of them, right, apart from last night being the first one that we lost. If he had squared that ball early on against Wolves, first half, when we were pretty dominant on them, came out lively, we'd have won that match. The Villa game, we'd have got back into that match if he had... It's criminal, mate. And on 325 grand a week, I'm just not having it now. So for me, the mirror was held up on the problem last night. And very conveniently for us, the mirror was also held up on the solution, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm now just going to read you some stats off about the solution because I think we both agree the solution is Mykhailo Mudryk. And you've said that from the very first game of the season.
From the first game of the season, I've backed this boy. I've stomped my flag in the ground and said, right, you lot, I will not have a bad word said about this boy.
What is the poster like that you've got on your wall for Mykhailo?
Very, very sticky.
Right, let me read you these stats because I've been doing a lot of research on this because what a lot of people have said to me in the comments is sometimes that I might be being a little bit too harsh on Raheem Sterling. So let me just give you some stats. Per game, double the defensive actions by Mudryk than Raheem Sterling. Pretty good. More successful take-ons. He's also dribbled 50 metres more on average than Sterling. Sorry, wait a second. Not on average. That's total. 50 metres more.
In half the minutes?
In half the minutes. Tells you everything you need to know. He has double the touches per game than Raheem Sterling in the penalty area. Tells you everything you need to know. Here's an interesting one for you. How many times do you think, on average, Raheem Sterling switches the play every game?
Fuck all. Not often. I can't remember. I'm trying to think of a passage of him doing it. I don't remember it.
Raheem Sterling has had 0 switches of play all season.
I was going to go for 0.
0. Absolutely ridiculous. Mudryk far better at that as well. And he has more passes attempted than Sterling. So not only is Mudryk doing more defensively, not is he only doing more attacking from a perspective as well. When you look at the numbers like that, what is it? Is it 6 goals now? 6 goal contributions for Mudryk in 10 games or 9 games?
6 goals, 3 assists.
In 9 games it is, by the way.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So that's the way there. And then Sterling, I'm going to pull that up now as well. Sterling is 9 in 20. So, mate, the stats there, movement, defensive, attacking, Mudryk is way better. So let's just draw a line under it now. I've been saying it from the get-go, and I wanted to actually get the stats to prove this to you, mate. Like, he's a way better player. And bearing in mind, Sterling, one of our oldest players, most money per week, Mudryk is going to get better.
Yeah.
Like, why is this even a debate? Like, why are we even thinking about this now? If Poch doesn't do it, lock him up.
Well, it's not just the facts, like... the factors you just said there, it's the last one that I would really put a magnifying glass on and emphasise as much as I possibly can, in the fact that whether he's tearing it up or not, which he isn't, Sterling is not going to be here for long. I'm not on about contract. I'm on about in terms of the age he's at, the way his game is changing with that age. It's, you know, he's not a fine wine, is he? It's not progressing with his age. And if we're looking at assets for the future that, by the way, we need to build around, like, I don't know if anyone's paying attention here, and I get that, you know, we've made sort of weighted arguments here that we can go and spend money and whatnot, but we can't fucking go and do what we've done. That's done now. So I'm not saying we're stuck with this crop of players, because that would sound a bit negative. But what I do know is we need to make it work with at least 85 to 90% of these signings that we've brought in. Yeah. So if you don't really, really put your faith in Mykhailo Mudryk when he's doing the business, when are you? When are you going to put your faith in him?
The good news, mate, is that Todd Boehly has been on a plane recently. Now
he was at the game last night.
Yeah, he was at the game last night. Brilliant. He has been flying all around the world. He's been flying to a particular nation that you might be interested in him going to. He's met with a former favourite of ours, a certain gentleman called Mykhailo Mudryk. Do you remember him?
No.
You don't remember Mykhailo? Mykhailo was our director of football under Jose Mourinho that bought all of these unbelievable young players to Chelsea that Jose ruined. And we'll just leave it at Jose ruined.
Does he still do it?
He is the director of football for the Saudi League.
That's what we like to hear.
And he's got a wonderful connection to Chelsea Football Club. And Todd Boehly has been having a great little chat with him. And I'm sure the first point...
No agendas. Just two mates having a chat.
Having a chat over a nice glass of wine.
Casual.
Just relaxing.
Oh, we might talk about shipping some players over to you. We might not. Let's see what's on the menu.
Yeah, look, 60 million for Sterling is more than reasonable.
Oh, could you imagine? How much do you reckon the Saudis would give us for Sterling?
60 million.
Fuck off.
Why not?
Well,
he's got a contract. I mean, mate, they bought Koulibaly. Come on.
Imagine I'd have told you that we'd make a 5 mil profit on Sterling.
We would be so chuffed about that. And then all these people saying that we can't afford any of these other signings. If Sterling goes that kind of money, I could see it happening. I really could. And Sterling, quite frankly, he's going to take the money, isn't he? If he ends up getting 700, 800 grand a week, he'll move in a heartbeat. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck now about playing for Chelsea.
No, I was watching George Benson's video last night, and he hit the nail on the head big time. He said Sterling was fucking walking about like it was his testimonial last night. I'm thinking, listen, I was at Zola's testimonial, mate. Don't even say that, because Zola was putting more of a shift in that. So
Zola would be bagging goals, mate. Zola would have been absolutely absolute quality.
His game was one that would have aged.
Mate, can we talk about players in our past, even at their age now, that would have been better than Raheem Sterling last night? I would take Zola over Raheem Sterling last night.
I'll probably take Jesper Gronkia over him.
I would take Jesper Gronkia. Absolutely. I'd take Eden Hazard, by the way.
I tell you what,
even after a few pints.
He was rude to me in a lift once in the Copform Hotel at Stamford Bridge, but Damien Duff, he was a wizard on the wing, wasn't he?
Legends. Absolute legends.
Great
I'd take Celestine Babiaro on the wing over
Babiaro. I tell you what, his goal celebration when you do them flips. Wait, just to finish it off, right? I just want to finish it off on this. Was I going over the top last night when I said that this season could be saved? Because when we look at it, game in hand, we're now a point behind Newcastle. We could go above Wolves, Newcastle, and Brighton if we were to play that game in hand, let's say tonight, and win it. And then I think, would be 1 point behind West Ham. When you look at our run of fixtures, I mean, just looking at Brighton, the next few games, I'm using them as a case in point. Next few games they've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. That's
0 points.
Exactly. Yeah. That's probably the hardest run out of those teams above us. But it does look like it's that part of the season. It's silly season now, isn't it? It's that part of the season where everyone starts dropping points. And the running, Europe as well, it takes its toll on teams. You see it the other day, Brighton getting smashed by Roma. If we can put a little run together here of what maybe if we can win 3 out of our next 4 games, we're well within a chance of getting some sort of European football, aren't we?
Well, what have we got? We got Burnley, and then is it United, and then Sheffield United?
No, we got an easy one in there. Hold on.
Yeah, we got Burnley before. Leicester, Burnley.
No. We got another easy one.
Here we go. Go on.
Right. Okay.
Pull it up. Pull that up,
yep.
Jamie.
So Burnley, easy.
Yep.
Yeah. United, easy. Yeah. Sheffield United, give us the points. Everton, who? Easy.
Ooh,
Everton's the hard one, man.
We're shit against Everton.
I'm at the United game, so if you see me there, I'll have a singer and I'll have a chicken balti pie. Thank you very much.
Mainly the pies.
Yeah. Any chance of it, or are we getting too far ahead of us?
Well, look. Let's go one by one, right? And let's do the teams very quickly. West Ham, are you worried about them right now? No. They're in free fall. They're in free fall. They hate David Moyes. They want that guy sacked. I'm not expecting them to pull up any trees. I think United may be a stretch too far, but if we beat them in that game, that's absolutely game on. It could absolutely happen.
And we should be beating them.
Yeah. Brighton, I'm not scared of. I think they've got a good squad. Amazing manager.
Just quickly, will United have Højlund back by then?
They should do, yeah.
Right, okay.
They should do. Yeah.
Who cares? We've got Jackson.
Who cares about Højlund? He's not even that good.
No.
So then Brighton, fine. I'm not that scared about them. Decimated by injuries, and also the squad isn't that good to start off with. Wolves, they've done the double over us, but quite frankly, they should be right down there in the bottom half of the league anyway. Newcastle, we've just beaten. So if you look at those teams, yes, it might be a little bit hyperbolic, a little bit unfair for us to sort of say we can go up there, but I think we can absolutely go up the table. And I don't think we can get a 6th, but I think 7th is more than doable. And then that will get you the Conference League.
Mate, I'm looking at the fixtures now, man. We've got Arsenal and Man United as the only games that you're like, right, I get that we've lost loads of matches and drawn loads of matches that we should have won this season. But if we could pull things together a little bit, they're the only ones that I'm like, right, you don't have a defined right to win that match.
Well, let's talk about Man United, right? Because they're the only team that I haven't looked at. I'm just looking at their fixtures now. Brentford at home. Brentford away. Chelsea away. Then they've got Liverpool at home. Bournemouth, fair enough. Newcastle, that could go either way. Burnley, probably a win. Palace, probably a win. Arsenal, and then Brighton on the last day. They're going to drop points.
They are going to drop points. Putting your neck on the line right now, we're 11th in the table at this moment in time. Where do we finish?
7th.
7th, yeah?
I think we finished 7th this season. I think we scrape Conference League, and then we're fucked with the
wouldn't
PSL.
Wouldn't 8th get us Conference League?
I think it depends on the other qualifications, yeah.
Yeah. Be good, wouldn't it? People, let us know your thoughts. Let us know where we're finishing in the league this season. Feels good after last night, doesn't it? But also, the main talking point that I do want to know from you guys, Is it a straight swap now between Mykhailo Mudryk and Raheem Sterling? Or are you liking Mudryk in this sort of hybrid 10 role and you think someone else should come in for Raheem Sterling? Or do you think Raheem Sterling should still be in the team and we're just being really, really harsh? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. As a massive thank you to Josh for coming over today. Head over to his channel. Nearly on the 10k now, aren't you?
Nearly on the 10k.
Nice.
We're coming up there.
Well, let's make sure that we get him there. Head over to his channel. It's linked in the description. Hit the subscribe button and we will see you all in the next one.